First, let me apologize, and this is on reserve apology, particularly to the fact that you've been trying to catch up with me, and you know how it is. One is always busy, and like I told you the last time, that the door is always open, and anytime you feel like coming, you are free to come. There must be some level of some communication gap, because the door is always open, except maybe one really have to pursue it deliberate as is by practicing first, and I'm sure maybe because of that is why we've not been able to see. So please, I wish you accept my apology. On Nigerian issue, it is expected, particularly now, in the next 1 year, Nigeria will be thinking of change of government. There will be a lot of people. This is a season of politics. This is a time for campaign. It is more, you see more political activities, and you know, as it is with the politicians, this is the time you see everybody saying one thing or another. Everything now must be an issue. Even if you spit alone, there will be an issue. Even if you cite alone, there will be an issue. There will be this issue of people interpreting, misinterpretation left and right. There will be deliberate misinterpretation. There will be genuine one, because everything, particularly in politics in this divide, it is always politics, and so we should expect that. So as it is, whether we like it or not, the polity has to be heated up. Whether we like it or not, different issues are gendered left and right, and it is only about one thing, about politics, about interest, because now everybody trying to run up and down to gain an upper hand. And you know, here it has to be with, you lie this side, you make some accusation, you do this, you do that. Even ordinary gesture. Now, this is a season of body language. This is a season of when people will talk and need to be misinterpreted in one way or the other. So it's expected, as this is the season. Quickly put it, when we talk of doctrine of necessity, it has to be in the circumstance. The circumstance with which the doctrine of necessity was propounded may be different from what it is. But whether we like it or not, the Constitution itself, when we talk of necessity, there are some things that the Constitution recognizes as is quite imperative. It is imperative that every 4 years there must be a way a government needs to come before the electorate to see whether I will be given a lifeline. So let us know that constitutionally it has been there, the imperative of that necessity that Nigeria needs to now recheck. It is more like a check whether this government should continue or not. That's why you see in the Constitution every 4 years, because government envisage where the electorate, that is those who actually put those who are there now, must try to rethink to see whether we need to review this administration, whether it is necessary or not. And I like saying this because I don't like to be faulted in one of the things I've been canvassing for. Yes, that power resides in the people, not on one sole individual. So it will be out of point, it will be out of my own way for me to decide whether it will be necessary for this government to be changed or not. Because I always believe that collectivities of the people will come together. That's why the Constitution make room for election. And during the election, these people will speak, and I'm sure the voice of the people will, at the end of the day, take full effect of what and the way the government of Nigeria will take. Like, you know, there are some things that you don't even need to ask questions about. It is there. Even the blind could see what is happening. The deaf could hear the rumbling in the polity. But I want to say this. Okay, I won't say that because maybe one has his own political affiliation somewhere, or I don't want to be misinterpreted that maybe one is trying to speak for the present government. One thing that has been the issue, that's why you see that some of us, we have been so much after that. Okay. In as much that anybody can come and promise change, change cannot just come without fixing some things. Like when foundation is cracky, when foundation is shaky, I don't think there's any way. That is why you see the Lord, then he will tell you that you can't put something on nothing.
Okay.
If you're doing that, everything will fall. That's why you see some of us will raise the issue of this restructuring. Without that, with respect, I must talk with respect this time around, that even being an angel to rule the country, I think it won't work.
What do you mean? That if we have Jesus ruling this country?
If you have it even ruling this country, I'm afraid with the structure as it is, without restructuring, without fixing it right, you know, it is even natural. Even the God himself. That's why when you see that in law, there are some things they will mention, that they will say this natural law, this natural justice. The natural justice of it demand that we need to restructure this government. We need to restructure Nigeria, particularly when you talk of federalism. If actually we are to practice federalism, the question I should ask is that we're practicing this federalism in a situation that the physical federalism is zero. It has not been, and that's why, you know, when it's stated, there's no way. I must say this, and I will repeat it until we start from the beginning. And mind you, why are we saying this? The only time you will see that Nigerians we sit together to really decide how we really want our country to be run. That was then when Awolowo of this world, Azikiwe, after Balewa, Ahmadu Bello went for London Constitutional Conference. That is the only time that we can say we have a real pre-constitutional conference. And the three, let me just call the three, the tripod of the group of Nigeria agree on the fact that we want that constitution. Till today, that constitution is what we are still talking about. But unfortunately, when they arose after the coup, the confusion was decision, and that's why we are having this issue. Until today, that's why we find out that every other constitution, all the other framework, legal framework that have been used to run this government, this country, will never work. Until we do that, that's what is it. But one of the reasons I have against this government, to the fact that one of what was promised by the time you check the manifesto of APC, 85% of it, I can still vividly read, have it on my head, what actually is that. 85% of it is gearing towards the issue of restructuring. That's why they talked of autonomy of the local government, giving the state power, doing this, doing that, blah, blah, blah. But unfortunately, not a single one. So if you ask me to mark the government today, I need not even go to the moon or even check anything. All I need to do is to pick the manifesto and do the checklist and find out what have they done. You find out that out of the manifesto, I'm yet to see one or two that have been done. And that is why we have the issue. This one lies the problem of Nigeria. Who are we as a Nigerian? They will tell you, go everywhere, go to Bonds in Germany, go to London and United Kingdom, go to Joburg in South Africa. If you want to be addressed, it's Federal Republic of Nigeria. That's the problem. Now the question is, are we really federal? That is the problem. If now we really want to answer our name as Federal Republic of Nigeria, that means that the federal system must be put into work. That physical federalism must be. And what we call the physical federalism, that's why you find out that every component part, we realize what we are, we know our potentials, allow us to develop, to run our government as it is. That is why you find out that even your resources will be used by you. How did you expect in the situation that you produce about 20 naira and the next room they are producing about 200 naira, and you take the money from the next room and you are spending the money? How do you want those who are there? That's why you see that there will be a problem. This is the beginning of the structure. I know Rome wasn't built in a day. Getting to that will take some time, but by now it's expected that this government should have started the process of making that work. And that's why when you check your manifestos of APC as of 2015, all the steps that will be taken, how to achieve that, we find it there. But unfortunately, it's as if immediately after the election, they threw it overboard and nobody discussed about it. And that's why you see some of them even denying it. That's why you see the president will tell you that nobody should expect him to perform any miracle. So that means that what we have in that, my only explanation of what he was trying to tell us was that that manifesto it's more or less a miracle that I will not perform it. But this is this is like a contract we signed for you to get what it is. So it's quite uncharitable, very, very uncharitable, and it's expected for anything to work. We need to start ensuring that we structure this country, we move it the way it should be, and we ensure that issue of what we have, we really answer our name. Independent we got then. I think that's still this independent we're still enjoying. I don't want to believe that that's what, because if you check very well,
are you trying to be conservative? Or?
That independence were well discussed, agreed on.
Okay.
And I believe that those that planned the first coup were a little bit patient.
They were impatient how?
We are impatient because within how many years? Within 5 years, they decided they want to do what they did. To me, it is more or less an impact, because we should ask ourselves, as at that time, all the issue of the structure is to go back to that. Because
I think we're having regions there.
Because we're having a region, each regions, you can see that there is this peer review, there's been some competition, you can see that everybody were following each other, and those normal beaving or whatever you can call it, and you can see, that's why you see in the southwest, Awolowo will tell you that I bring the first television in Africa. I'll do
mutual competition.
I do that, and you can see those in the east you want to be like them, then those in the north. And as at that time, I don't want to believe that the power only lies with the north, because as at that time the northern region is there for them to use that to build their potentials. But as it is, if you ask any Nigerians, I'm sure 100% of Nigeria will take us back to pre-1960s state school. And that is what the essence of restructuring. Let's go back there. There should be a regionalism should start from there. Then the issue of fiscal federalism, because as at that time you can see the region seems take care of what they produce, can just now put like a pool in the center. But today center seem to have all.
Yes, sir.
The budget of federal government of Nigeria is as big as so with moguls. You see they control the army, they control the police, they control everything. And as it is, this is not federal system of government. I'm a lawyer. I know what it is. I know when I say federalism, I know it is. As it is now, we are practicing unitary form of government, system of government, and that is why there will continue to be issues. Certainly, one is bound to have that fear, but I wouldn't want to dwell into that, because I want to say one thing.
Okay,
what matters most is Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces, and if this from North, those who put in there, those who voted for him should know that when we are doing this, that is what we're going to get. It's like yes, it's like when you are talking of the main house,
okay,
and those are the let me use colloquial, our colloquial grammar here.
Yes, sir.
Those are the BQ post quarter, and those are the gatehouse complaint that is you give the gatehouse or the BQ to some people. What about the main house? Buhari has the head, so his leg and the other one, I may not want to raise the issue there. But that one now depends on the trust. The question is that what did you promise Nigeria? Is it the way we say it? Is that what our agreement? But if that's what it is, fine. But I want to believe this is not what Nigeria envisaged. This is not the aspiration of Nigeria. Before we get.
I hope you are not trying to be apolitical, sir.
No, I'm not trying to be apolitical. You don't want it there. You know, one is just I'm expressing my opinion.
Yes, sir.
And this is the way. The way others may express may be different. But as it is, this is one of the things, and I believe this is one of the things that we judge that would call for the view of what was done in 2015.
Now,
I would like to make something clear.
No, the political.
Yes, I would like to make something clear here.
Yes, sir.
I'm not a member of APC.
Okay, sir.
Most of what is happening in the party, I may not know apart from what we get from the media.
Okay, sir.
But as it is,
okay,
there seems to be a consensus that today that Tinubu has been sidelined. How true that one is, it is in the media and it's for all to see. But one thing that I know for sure is this: what is happening in the APC is bound to happen. Because you know one thing is, as of the time there is this hues and the running how to form a party to dislodge the past administration.
Yeah.
Then the question, if you notice very well, I have been one of those who have continued to be in the front line that I believe that political party must be based on ideology, must be on principle, but unfortunately, it's in Nigerian political parties, most of them, they are more like a rally ground, more like a platform to win election. And when the issue of election, after winning the election, without thinking that after getting what we are looking for, what are we going to do with it? That is the strategy of the nation. That is the reason that you notice that we are having this issue. Unfortunately, APC is a conglomerate of a bed of different colors, different feathers, just coming together. Some can fly in high altitude, some can be low, some are even walking, and you find that all of them find themselves in one point. Of course, you must expect all these discontents, all this misharmony, or whatever you can call it. So it is expected.
Yeah, you see them towing this line of the PDP. You are very close to the PDP in the days of Jonathan, even right from the day of President Obasanjo. At the time too, PDP was also having this kind of squash of trust, squash of understanding and all that, and people believe that was what ultimately led to the fall of PDP. Do you see APC also towing the line of PDP?
Well, I won't lay claim to the fact that I'm close to the PDP. Because at that time, I just believe that I'm just like more or less an observer of what happened in other political groups. But as it is, you know, when things are in APC today, it's more or less like the center cannot hold. And when such happen, things will fall apart. It is expected. But again, I need to raise one thing, and maybe let me use this opportunity to comment the news coming on the issue of internal democracy, that the president is putting his foot on ground to say, look, the party must ensure that. Because it is quite unfortunate when the constitution of the country explain how and the way and manner you should run your party, while the party itself has its own constitution, and some group of people in the party decided to go overboard and try to violate the provision of the constitution, both Nigerian constitution and their party constitution, and even natural law, to now try to give the executive of the party a lifeline. The news coming in has shown to the point that the president seemed not to be pleased with that, and now insisting that the tenets of the law must be upheld. I believe he needs to be commended for that, because if you, as today, why, if you notice, we have been discussing, we have been mentioning APC. I'm not a member of APC. Yes, I'm sure you are not. But the reason why we are discussing about APC now is that being that a ruling party, no, Nigeria cannot ignore them. Well, if it's okay with the APC, we believe that it will be okay with Nigeria. And if APC cannot maintain internal democracy, then how come Nigeria can? And that is why we are a little bit particular and more concerned about that. But as it is, kudos must be given to the president, in as much that we are not a member of his party. But once you are doing good, you ought to be commended. And in the day that is not going good, we'll be ready to give him the knock that he deserved.
Let me quickly ask.
I don't want to believe that we're a problem. I think instead of condemning them, they need to be commended. And it to speak to power. And this is, and it is expected, because I remember as a Yoruba, they will tell you that is elderly ones cannot be in the market, and you allow a newborn, an infant head to be slanted. And I think it is part of their duty as a statesman. We don't call people statesman just for nothing. And I believe that is part of the duty of the statesman, to at each time to remind the power that be what is expected. Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be wrong. And I want us to know one thing, that this is not the first time Obasanjo has been saying this. Sometimes he will. But it seems that the media seem to report his knocks than his kudos.
Good.
Many times, at least I have it on record, where President Obasanjo will praise the last administration, and even this present administration. There are many times President Obasanjo will praise them, but unfortunately, our media has expected. It is his knock that seemed to trend, that seemed to have all the publicity that we're talking about. Then, talking about General T.Y. Danjuma. Yes, honestly, as a lawyer, I see nothing wrong in what he said. All what he said is that, look, you have the right of self-defense. And I said it in recently that I'm vindicated. Because I remember that on the 15th of January this year, I raised the issue after seeing the carnage going on and seeing the way people have been helpless. Each time something happened, they'll be looking for security, shouting, police should come to our aid. And I believe nobody can just come to your house to mow you down. You'll be shouting, the police refuse to come, because you have the first duty to defend yourself. The Constitution, section 33, 34, really clear it. That everybody has right to life and human dignity. That was so clear. And by the time you check our criminal code, it talks about what any act done in the course of defending yourself, in the course of safety, personal safety and self-preservation. The law allows you to do that. And if I may ask you, why must the police license us to use gun, you and I to use gun, if not for our self-defense? Yes, so if today General Danjuma is reminding Nigerians that, look, you have this right of self-defense, I see nothing wrong there. Where there will be problem is where he said, without provocation, you should go ahead to kill. That is wrong. And I believe Nigerians should be made to know the concept of self-defense. You can't say because somebody come with a snake with a stick to come and hit you, then you gun him down. No. Okay. Whatsoever the level of this defense must be proportional with the attack you have, and it's expected. Okay. It's all over the world, and I did not see anything except as expected, particularly during this time. Many things may be read into what he's saying. I have no problem with that. I think we should leave that one for those that want to make political gain or political minus from it. But what he's saying, from my own understanding and from my own interpretation, is in tandem with the law, is in tandem with our practice, is in tandem with what has been happening in Nigeria. That you have right to preserve your life. You have right to self-defense. If you are being attacked, you should try as much as possible to defend yourself, not that you should turn yourself to a victim. And that is all what he's saying. Except I want to believe that he should be in a better and best position. This is somebody that has been a lieutenant, that has commanded troops, that has been a general officer commanding a brigade. Apart from brigade, I mean a division, from division being a chief of army staff to being a chief of defense staff. So if there should be anybody that is more qualified to know whether there is ethnic cleansing or not, I think it should be the likes of Danjuma, not somebody like me. And if he should be saying that, I think he should know better.
So you give it to him.
Yes.
Now, General Babangida's letter seems to come so clumsy, and there was a lot of problem. You were involved by the time when you were defending Mr. Kassim Afegbua in the court, and you were able to take him out from the lockdown of the SSS and some other security fallout. What is the problem of that letter?
Let me quickly say this. I thank you for reminding me, or should I say reminding me and reminding everybody that I happen to defend the spokesperson of General Babangida. And the issue involved, well known to the whole world. I will be a little bit limited in the sense that I still stand as a lawyer, and the matter is still in court. It will be out of place for me to discuss it in detail, because whatever I may say may be prejudicial to the matter in court.
But why did you defend it?
That's what I'm saying. I'm defending now. We're still defending, and the matter is still in court. And anything I should say now, with my practice, I hate discussing issues that I'm acting as a lawyer to any other party. So in this issue, it won't be right to really say the nitty-gritty. But as it is, it has been established that Kassim Afegbua is a spokesperson of General Babangida. General Babangida has not come to deny the fact that Kassim Afegbua is not, and Afegbua and General Babangida still stand on what was written. And what was written, as far as we are concerned, is more like an advice and a comment on what is happening in Nigeria. And I don't think there's anything wrong about that, because everybody has his own opinion, and Nigerian constitution guarantee freedom of speech and expression and even association.
So, are you happy with what's going on in your state right now? The new governor has come up to say that the former governor was paying some billions of naira in terms of debt and all that, and it seems a whole lot of people are not really having.
Honestly, let us look at it very well. I'm very sure that both the former governor and the new governor, I don't think they have any issue whether any money is being held or not. But the issue here is the amount and whether it is real or not. But one thing that I find very, very, very confusing and very interesting is the same accountant general that prepared the handover note that said that this is the state of finance of the state. It's the same one saying this, and the question now is this. I think the best person that need to answer the issue is the same accountant general, because it's still the same person there. So is he now turning up?
Do you think he's drunk or something?
I won't know. But I think that is the major issue. The accountant general should be called to explain what it is.
Oh, you mean he was the one that handled the budget report that
it was the first financial was the one that prepared the first one to give the claim bid of health in this one instance, and the next within the period of about 3 months, another one. Then the question which we're asking is this: what is wrong? He should be the one to explain that.
But you're okay with Governor Kayode? Do you think he's doing well for the state?
Well, let me put it this way. I've learned this for the past almost 8 years now, that in as much most of this criticism, most of the way we give these kudos and knocks, it is not for grandstanding. You find out that we only talk, when we only criticize, when we only try to correct some things, because we want a better life. We want our country, our polity to live well. And a situation that whosoever may be the power, you can speak truth to them. There are different channels. If today you have a president in whom I can give my opinion, my take to, without publicizing it or without making it a public issue, it will be fine. It is when you realize either as much as you advise whosoever may be in government that refuse to take it, and you take it to marketplace. As it is, I must tell you, I think I've met Kayode only once since he became the governor of Ondo State. But I know that there are many channels that one can pass to explain this is the way it is. Mind you, my criticism is not to destroy anyone. My criticism is constructive, is to make sure that the state is better. As long as that channel is open for both of us, for me to say what the little I know I can say, then fine. Like for example, recently there is this Olusegun about increment of school fees in Ondo State.
Yes, sir.
One, I've been able to present my own take on that, and I don't think it is necessary now. And I believe that the governor, sure, will take to that. We realize that you don't use school fees to run the university. University live mostly on grants. How much is the school fee? Even let's even say increase to 500. Can you tell me with one-on-one to tell me that this is what I will use to run the school? And you don't use the indigent students, their little money they have to run your government. It is not done, and I'm very sure the governor will take to heart and will know what to do.
But you are one of the young Ondo indigenous that has been banded in a long time. To become governor one day, a lot of people think you've achieved in terms of knowledge, in terms of professional knowledge, career knowledge, and even political knowledge. So you find yourself on the hot seat of the governor of Ondo State. What's going to be your vision and your mission for that state?
My vision is for the people. I've been known as a progressive for all my life, and I know that is exactly what we're going to do. For the people. You know when it comes to democracy, when the Abraham Lincoln mentioned that democracy is government of people, for the people, by the people, What it means that the government is run for that people, and that is what we're going to do. And once people are satisfied, you can go home and sleep.
Why are you not going to politics now? Why are you running?
No, I'm in politics.
You're busy passing law.
Yes, certainly you can, of course. Law itself is like a profession. I'm not, like I like telling people, I'm not a professional politician. I'm a professional in politics. And
what do you mean by that?
And that means that I'm a professional. I have my job, I'm a lawyer, everybody knows me about that. But along the line, you find yourself, because to me, politics is all about service. After here, I can say this is what I've been able to do. Some people will tell you that I'm a philanthropist, I've given this to my people, I've done this, but I believe that my knowledge, my ability, my potential can be used to serve the people, and that's what we are doing.
How soon are you going to politics, sir?
I'm already in politics, and very soon you hear what you hear from us. That's something. It is not over, it's over.
Now, if you have a chance to sit with Mr. President Buhari one-on-one, what are you going to tell him about the country, how to run the country, and how to pacify the masses?
I will first tell him to rejig his aides. I believe there is a big disconnect between Buhari and the people. And unfortunately, the aides, they are like middlemen. And the middlemen, when the middlemen are few and when the men are not what they refuse to do what they're supposed to do, there will be a big disconnect. As it is, I want to believe that the Buhari I see every day, the Buhari I listen to, the Buhari I know before, is Buhari that wanted to leave a good legacy. I want to believe that it's Buhari that believes that thinks of tomorrow, want to know what posterity will talk about him. I want to know, particularly at his age, this is not the age where it needs to acquire anything again and to just believe I want to give to people. I believe that in his inner of his heart, his desire is to do something that will make generality of Nigeria to prison. But unfortunately, with the people hates around him, particularly what we've been hearing, is making this impossible. And I believe the first thing, if I'm with Buhari, is to say, look, rejuggle your aides, deal with some of them, and with that.
2019 is coming. We have General Buhari coming back, last one. Then we have former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Then the young people of Nigeria say we need a third force.
Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised seeing me contesting this election.
Wonderful.
That's the only thing I will say. You should not be surprised if you see me, if you see my name on the ballot box.
That is what you're going to say to them?
Yes.
So we should accept the third force?
Of course, that one's so certain. But my position is that you should not be surprised when you see my name